How's things going at the Criminds house?
What did Glenn say?
Glenn didn't say anything. I mean, he made sure that Miette and her father got home. He made sure that Daiquiri's sisters and the rest of his family got home. Daiquiri's at the factory. Like, went with Archer, because as deputy, he wasn't going to not go.
So we've heard nothing.
You've had no information yet. It's honestly only been about an hour. It hasn't been, it's not like going all through the night, but yeah, it's been an hour and you haven't heard anything. So, I mean, Glenn was probably, given he had to get two families to 2 different houses, he's probably about 40 minutes behind you. So it's probably been about another 20-ish minutes since he got home.
How inebriated am I at this point?
You're not.
Fuck, how long have I not been inebriated?
Probably about 10, 15 minutes since you realized it.
Okay.
It wasn't an immediate thing.
Fuck. How's my pain levels?
Not great.
Think about that. Okay.
The physical pain is not good. But I would argue that your probably emotional state is taking priority.
Yeah.
Relegating a lot of the pain. Also, you're not moving.
I feel like at this point, like, the physical pain has become just such like a constant like burning that it's almost taken a back burner to everything else.
While that's fair, you've also only been conscious for 36 hours.
There is that.
So.
I meant like in the last
But yeah, no, it's
amount
true.
of time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's kind of, maybe a loud background noise, but a background noise. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Better than expected, but I can't shake. We should help. Why are we just sitting here?
We don't know what that was.
It was something.
An earthquake, for all we know. What? What? River?
I don't know. I don't know anything, so when I feel like I know something, like I know that I should go help, that's all I know.
What are we gonna do? What can we do? You're secure. And what? What? The damage is already done. What can we do?
We don't know anything. We could be helpful, we could be not. Who knows?
Do you want to go in the forest? We could take a walk.
I'll look at Sarah. What's Sarah up to?
Sarah's paying attention to Muriel.
Okay.
Like, when you all first got home, she was in full helicopter mode, like circling, making sure everyone was good, but since it's been an hour, like, her attention's on Muriel, whose emotional state is not great.
Okay.
Is Muriel still inebriated?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Muriel's still inebriated.
Muriel's gonna go to sleep inebriated.
Okay, good.
So we go take a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can slip out.
Yeah. So
Well, give me a stealth check first, but it's not a high DC. She's not really paying attention.
I'm nat 20.
6.
How do you keep doing it?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't
The
know.
table likes Gracie.
Yeah.
I've had some of that.
You know exactly how to. I mean, you're not accustomed to slipping out without. You're not accustomed to trying to slip out without your mom noticing, and this time you were lucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, your mom, your mom's an attentive person, but she's currently attending her very concerned best friend.
So I'm going to take River to the spring.
Okay.
The spring that I go to when I'm feeling all sort of outs.
No, go ahead.
It's a hot spring in the middle of the forest where it's just kind of this little bubbling, gurgling almost as if it's magic, but Faena doesn't have that ability to know if it's magic or not. She just knows it's there in the middle of the woods.
Do you take a light source, or are you going to
How
go
dark
by the
is it?
moon?
I'd take a light source if it's dark enough.
Okay. You look up, and Pondell is now down to like a quarter or fifth full. You would need some type of light if
So
you're...
we're gonna take a lantern.
Okay. You can grab one of those.
Okay. This is one of my favorite spots.
How long did it take to get there?
How far away is it at this hour?
Like 20 minutes, 15-20 minute walk.
Probably a little longer now because
Yeah.
it's super dark out.
Right, so 30 minutes.
Sure.
About halfway there, I start to get very nervous. Just from all of the trees. And the lantern flickering makes it almost worse. Because the shadows aren't still, they're moving. And you just see River's head on a constant swivel.
River, but what's wrong? It's just the forest.
It's the shadows. I told you.
Stay with me. Stay near the light. Do you want to hold the light?
And I just reach out and take the lantern. And I'm kind of you're leading, but I'm kind of speed walking behind you. Very much.
And I'm gonna
let's
ask
go.
this as Gracie. Do we see anything?
What are you looking...
Is
anything
there
is
anything
broad.
around us?
I am
that we should
actively
be
looking for
concerned
anything. moving.
Threats.
Any kind of
Oh,
threat.
anything at all.
Anything
Yeah,
moving.
just
Give
anything.
give me perception checks.
Roll, girl.
Apparently. 19.
4. Plus whatever.
19.
You see shadows and branches. Honestly, the shadows you see that are moving are cast by that lantern.
Yeah.
Like the forest isn't super mobile right now. Like some trees are moving. There's like a warm breeze blowing through. It's warm. Like not like uncomfortable, but it's like, a humid like spring night. And so as you're like Faena, these are your woods, for lack of a better, like, there are few people in this town who know the woods better than you, because most of them stick to town, especially like going this, like, just into them. And yeah, there's birds that you know to keep an eye out for. There's small animals like wandering around. There's a few times that you like actively see an owl watching you. Because they're just keeping an eye on the ground level. Like, there's plenty of movement, nothing that feels dangerous or threatening or out of the normal.
Okay. So then it'd be safe to say that we get to the spring without any incident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Faena's going to start unlacing her boots. What?
What?
What? Why did you look at me like that?
Why are you taking your shoes off?
Because I'm going to put my feet in the water.
Why?
Because it's fun. Because it's relaxing.
Okay.
You don't know a lot about...
Anything. We've established this.
No, but you don't know a lot about not being scared, do you?
If you didn't know anything, how would you feel?
Fair enough.
I can't shake this just feeling like something's chasing me. Like, no matter what, there's always something one step behind me.
Well, the good news about Farabogs is we can run. And I think you can run too. You're one of us. Come sit. Come take a moment. And Faena dips her feet into the spring, sitting down.
Take my
Okay.
shoes off.
take a moment. The world can be swirling and the world can be dark and... But here, in the forest, it's just life, breathing.
Faena, give me a religion check.
Okay, card, that was dramatic. I didn't mean to do that. I'm so proud of you. I didn't mean to do that, but it's just, you know. I feel like I should roll it again. I don't know.
No, don't touch it. It's great.
Okay. Yeah, it's a natural 20.
When Faena's nice, she gets nat 20s.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Faena needs to be nice more often.
The dice know.
The
They
dice-
know.
The table's like, I like a nice Faena.
Yeah. Be nice to the stranger. Your mother said so.
There is something about the way that Faena approaches this. A lot of things are new to you, but you've spent enough time among the trees in the last 36 hours, whether, like, the town is part of the forest. They've cleared out a lot of space for roads and walkways and farms or gardens, but it's still, like, in the forest, and you've gotten a pretty good impression of what is the standard. There is something about this spring, especially as Faena has brought you to this for a very specific purpose, that greatly does start to relax you, between the sound of the spring bubbling and the warmth of the water, and that the sound of the bubbling does kind of as a white noise effect smother the creepier noises of the forest. It does have a very calming effect, and you do feel your tension and fear starting to relax a bit here. As everything, I think you probably catch as you're relaxing is the whiff of mint plants as you're trying to take a breath, and you start to feel the need to look over your shoulder a little less. It doesn't take much longer, an hour or two, before you guys have got the factory situation under control. Fires are out. The whole site has been hosed down in cold water because, the compressors were never taken and the water stayed cold up until the point where the place blew up. So, fortunately, everything was able to be put down, suppressed. The smoke and steam is chilled out, so it's now just a cold, still wreckage. Dark, as Pondel's light is going. It's heading out, for at least seems for the time being. So, what do you guys want to do? And did you keep Tobi and Celstar there?
Well, we would have had one of the
Oh, right.
Maeve or Doc come over.
Oh, they're in not too much time. People, both Maeve and Cad, were grabbed, and they came up and with all their as much supplies that they could bring in one trip, to make sure that everyone's good. There is a sheet over Sherman, but the others are awake now, conscious, bandaged. Jack is not in good shape. He'd already been roughed up earlier, so he's a little dizzy, and Maeve is trying to keep him conscious as he's struggling. Tobi, you have been thoroughly bandaged. You didn't catch, you didn't burn on the one side. You got scraped against a wall. And so Maeve put a significant amount of ointment on the side of your face that hit the concrete, and has like wrapped that up pretty thoroughly. Cellstar is better. He's in good shape. Your parents are on their way, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna give them a heart attack. This is the second day in a row now that I've almost died.
Are you saying this out loud?
I'm kind of thinking this in my head and also to you. Like,
Fair.
I honestly, as Tobi, have no words. I'm like, God damn it. So yeah, I'm just still sitting there, quiet, defeated.
What are you guys doing?
Well, that's...
I will clarify, no one has to stay here.
Yeah. That situation's kind of been handled, and now that they're being taken care of, I assume the parents and others are going to come and take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to gather up some people to talk about something.
Mm-hmm.
So, can we use your bar?
Absolutely. I was gonna suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go start opening things up if you want to
Mm-hmm.
get as many people as you can.
And I'm gonna get the sheriff, get the deputy, and get every like kind of head of household or whoever is level-headed enough, and gather them up. Send a little thing to the mayor too.
You said every head of household?
Well, like, kind of the people who.
I'm just gonna. It's like 100 plus people.
Oh.
What is head of household? You're a town. Well, you mean like the important people in the community?
Yeah, I
Got
guess
it.
so.
Okay.
The important people.
It's like you were knocking on doors, being like, "Is your father home?"
No, or mother, whoever's there.
Well, I was shorthanding it, but
Fair.
yeah, basically, most people, a lot of these houses only have one.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question, side question.
Uh-huh.
Is Diana or Jeremiah the head of household?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Here,
Diana.
yeah, probably
Which
Diana.
one's soberer?
The reason I ask is because I'm about to open the bar and I don't know if Jeremiah's going to be. I'm assuming not because he got completely hammered. But I don't know if Diana might show up to be part of the group.
That's a. Did you go collect? That's a question for Archer. If he collected one of them.
I think it's because it's such a large town. I can't go to every door, so I'm kind of going up to the people who I like trust,
right?
And can like wrangle people.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna maybe stop by at my place and just let them give a brief like factory blew up. We're gonna go talk about, and this isn't where the kids are either, like not, but like to the adults.
Mm-hmm.
Go talk about what happened. Anyone that wants to come with me can, but obviously someone needs to take care of the kids, and I'm kind of looking at my younger brother for that.
Volko?
Volko. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, which one? Aren't they both your younger brothers?
My younger brother.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Aren't they both younger?
Not Craig.
Got it. You're asking Volko to stay behind. You lay things out. The kids have gone to, like, Sloan made sure that Kai and Cliff went to bed.
Yeah.
Whether or not Cliff's awake is a different matter. Kai is probably asleep. But it's late now. You're nearing midnight, given how long you guys were out there. And as you give everyone the lowdown, you hear from the living room.
I'm not gonna pay any attention to it.
But once you've gotten the rundown, you said Volka's going to stay and keep an eye on things.
Yep.
Okay. Sloane is obviously also going to stay, but the rest of your siblings are going to come.
Okay.
So Lilith and Craig grab whatever they think they need. Lilith's like, I'll tell my husband I'll be home like late.
Okay.
I don't need him there. He's just going to panic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, he's not exactly a calm man, so.
He owns a bookstore. He's not calm.
Is it? You know him. Don't make me look his name up in the name sheet. Now it's a conversation we're having.
That's great.
If Mathis were a calm man, I wouldn't have to be the breadwinner.
Right. Okay. Let's go.
He can stay home and keep an eye on things. Yeah. And yeah, they grab their stuff and roll out. So that's gonna take a while for you to grab everyone. Notable town figures who specifically like between Pullman and Rot. Are you talking to either of them?
I don't know if I'll be able to find Kairos, but maybe Aislinn I could.
Specifically, yeah, no. You would have to like go try to find Kairos Pullman in the in the woods. You don't know if they're home or not.
Yeah.
I meant. Apparently, I didn't write it down here. Specifically, I meant Marula, Kairos' wife. I meant, are you going to go to the Pullman house, or are you going to assume that's its own deal? And same with Aislinn.
I'll go to the Pullman house at the very least and try.
Okay.
If she's not there, then I'm not going to sweat it.
When you knock on the door, it takes a minute, and then the door opens, and you see effectively like their butler answers, and he sees you. He's kind of like in a robe. Morning, Archer.
Morning.
I guess it's morning. I didn't go to the Germaning. I called it an early night.
Okay.
Heard there was a thing.
Yes.
Is everyone okay?
Not really. I'm gonna need to. Is any of the Pullman home?
Marilla's home. You want me to get her?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. And he
Sure.
He closes the door behind you, leaves you in the foyer of the Pullman and Rot live in the wealthy area of town, which is where Pullman's house is, Rot's house is, and no one else's. And so in this grand manor house that dwarfs anything short of the factory, you are left in the foyer as he leaves for a moment, and after a while, Marula Pullman, who is kind of like a wiry woman who you're used to seeing never with her nose turned down. Normally looking down at everyone, very snobbish, who sees you and immediately walks up to you and goes, "Hi.
Hello.
What's going on? What happened?"
The factory blew up.
Give me an insight check.
13.
You're so insightful.
Marilla Pullman does not flinch. She does not move. Where is Kairos?
I don't know. Last I saw him, he walked off into the woods. I was hoping you might know. Maybe he came home.
No, they haven't been back. Since I have not seen them since they left to go when after the boom. Right. You came here. What's going on?
There's going to be a meeting in town with a lot of people, and I figured to get either you or him, if you or them.
Is now?
Yeah.
Is this?
There's a lot of important things that are going to be talked about. I'm sure you don't want Aislinn to just be there without one of you.
Fuck. Escher. And the butler's right behind. Escher, make sure the Briar stays in his fucking room. Let me get my coat. And she hadn't changed. She's in the same clothes you saw her in at the Germaning.
Mm-hmm.
So she grabs a coat, like comes right back with a lantern. And it's like, all right, let's go.
Okay. And then we walk across the street, or
No, it's next door.
right next door to Aislinn's place.
When you knock, the door is already opening as you go to knock. Archer! Marula!
It's too late for that.
I assume you have news?
Yes.
What happened?
Factory blew up.
Give me an insight check.
No sugarcoating it for this bitch.
That ain't my job anymore. Oh, no, it's an 8.
Well, that's something we're going to have to work out.
Right, so we're going to a meeting right now.
Yes.
Why don't you come with us? And there's going to be a lot more things that have going to be discussed.
You see he eyes Marula. And where is Kairos?
We haven't seen them in how long has it been? A couple hours?
A couple hours.
Haven't seen them in a couple hours.
Well, that's something we're going to have to address too. And he gets his coat and follows you out.
Okay.
I think your parents get you home, Tobi. Your mother has not said a word. And your father, besides to make sure that you're okay, your father hasn't said much either. And you get home, and basically, your father is immediately making tea. Your mother's sitting at the table. What? Thought you were gonna stay home.
Yeah. I did not.
Right.
And I'm just standing next to the table, behind a chair, just squirming around. Because I'm obviously so in pain, but also really uncomfortable. I'm oh, I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
Why couldn't you just come to the Germaning? What were you doing? What was Celestar doing?
I already told Rhondo, so we just wanted to stop production in the factory, just for a little bit. And then everything went haywire.
Production stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Tobi, I don't think that you thought this through. If production stops, your father doesn't work.
If production stops, then we don't have to work in the mines. I don't know.
Some of us still have to work in the mines. Tobi, we've got bills. If the production stopped, what was this? Ransom? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, honestly, it was supposed to be like that, and it turned out to not. Listen, this is much bigger than our plan. There were people in there that, other than me, that were not supposed to be in there. I didn't set off.
Tobi, my world isn't bigger than you. I don't care who else was at the factory. I care that you were in a dangerous place when you weren't. You were supposed to be at home? That's twice in 2 days. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this, because I can't keep an eye on you. You're an adult, but I have to, I gotta be able to trust you to look out for yourself. And I don't know how to wrap my head around the fact that you are at a factory when getting...
I'm sorry.
You could have died twice in the last 2 days. That is a lot.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you try to go sleep it off?
And then she just leaves without saying a word.
What does Tobi do after she goes to her room?
She doesn't go to sleep. Yeah, she does. She doesn't go to sleep at all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little by little, everyone finally shows back up per Archer's instruction at the Last Wish, which is built to hold 20 people, kind of tops, maybe 30 if you're crowded. Standing room only. How many people did you bring to this place?
I don't know, maybe about like 40, 50.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're grabbing everyone.
Notable figures.
It's not a mob per se, but it's the same makeup of all the important folks in town.
Did you pick up one of my parents?
Yeah, did
That
you
is-
pick up the criminal?
Probably, yeah.
Which one?
I'll put it this way: did you ask for someone, or did you ask for a volunteer?
A volunteer, yeah.
Glenn is there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, you know better.
Yeah. So 40 or 50 people are trying to cram into your bar. There's people standing behind the bar, people sitting kind of on top of each other, behind the high tops where it doesn't really fit, just so everyone can see what's going on. It's big room, or small room, big crowd.
Right.
Yep.
I assume Dakota's nearby.
Yeah, Dakota's
He's
there.
he's probably near me, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
he's not
within speaking distance.
Oh,
maybe?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not tied to your hip, but he's you guys are right next to each other.
Okay. Rhondo has to lead this conversation. I cannot do this.
I think he's going to.
I know. My role is silent right now in this scenario.
Right. Why? Nothing wrong with that. You're being very adamant.
When it comes to the mine,
All right. That's fine.
okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think the mine's a concern right now.
Yeah, I just know that he went to go get Pullman and Rot. I know that. There's no way he didn't.
Well, we keep you up in the back.
I don't know if I can trust my tongue with them around. That's all I'm trying to
Oh, that's... You know what? I feel you.
say. Okay. All right.
Bad night for not being on the same page with the Pullmans.
Actually, maybe it's a good night. Because I don't think they wanted this either.
Hell, I guess we'll know more when Kairos shows up. Archer? Everyone's kind of talking pretty loud. There's a bit of a concerned panic, but I think it's late enough that when you walk back in with Marula Pullman and Aislinn Rot, everyone kind of stops.
The other person I would want to go get was the mayor.
Yeah, you walk back in with Todrick Gamlin.
Yeah, there we go.
He has already gone to bed. He made you wait while he put his clothes back on.
And then we took his own carriage to get over here faster, right?
Give me a persuasion check.
With advantage because I have the Pullman and
I'll give it to you.
That's natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Look at you.
That is the... You've seen Pullman and Rot's carriages. And they're nice. And they're a lot richer than Todrick Gamlin. And Todrick Gamlin's carriage is still nicer. He spent a good amount of money on that. But yeah, you find you guys ride back pretty quickly. So you've got a Pullman and Rot and Todrick Gamlin with you, Mayor Gamlin. They're also in the crowd. You see like the other foremans of the factory, the foremans of the mine. A lot of, if not influential, loud and dedicated members of the community there.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet up with Faedan first in Dakota, and okay, I think we got everyone we can here.
Okay.
Might as well get started, right?
Does anyone want a drink before we start? It's fine if not. If we want to get started, that's fine.
I think
I'm gonna have one.
that's fair.
But that's not. Okay.
Maybe if you have one. I think maybe if we all start drinking, it's going to open a problem.
Right.
Okay.
And you actually, give me an insight check. It's not a high DC. 5? 7.
Okay.
You, as Todrick Gamlin walks in, there's more than a few sneers from the crowd. People who don't want him around when they're in the middle of a crisis.
Okay.
All I'll need from you two is when the crowd gets rowdy is to help calm them down, ease their minds.
Right. Sure. You got a plan, go for it.
That's good.
So I stand up and I just show them. No.
God.
Give you a heart attack.
I think a riot.
Yeah.
So I will get to the center of the bar and kind of like stand up and to maybe stand on a chair to get everyone's attention.
And the hush quiets.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's kind of... You also... Pullman and Rod, I don't think, walked far from you.
Okay. Well, I would have said everything underneath.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't stick right by your side.
Yeah.
But like they're sticking close enough around that when you step up, everyone sees, oh, Archer Rhondo, foreman of the factory, with Pullman and Rot at his elbow. Okay. And it quiets real fast.
I just kind of like wave my hand up and go, thank you everyone for coming. I know you all have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, and I'm hopefully here to ease some of those concerns and to make sure you're all knowledgeable on the situation that's been happening. I'm sure you're all aware by now the factory is gone. It was exploded around the time of the Germaning hours ago.
Low murmuring, but no one interrupts you, and no one shouts anything no one seems surprised.
A good number of us, many faces I see here with me, that we went to the factory to do our best to put out the fires, and I applaud all of you who came, and we wouldn't have been able to. It would have been a worse catastrophe if the Anathrosite had gone off. So thank you so much for everyone who helped with that. In terms of how this happened, we, from talking to a few people that happened to be there, it seems what ended up happening was sabotage and not a accident. As many of you know, the factory was closed. There was no one intended to be there, and something on this level doesn't happen unless it was caused. Now, a few of us had gone inside to look for survivors, and what we ended up finding was a black and green.
Immediately, the whole place starts to panic. You hear like rising shouts of people like, "What does that mean? Like, what here in town? This is a like, what are we supposed to do about that? Like, has anyone called?"
Yeah. It's okay. Let him speak.
Thank you, Faedan. Faedan and I and Dakota happened to find a piece of rubble. Seemed like there was a survivor underneath, and when we had lifted it, Dakota, rightfully so, quickly acted and eliminated one of the black and greens. And
You're small from around. People smattering of applause, and a few people like.
And we are confident about that. And like, that's kind of like reach into the back and like unfurl the coat.
Again, like people like starting to like flip. You
Yeah.
hear a lot of shouts of like, this is in our town. This is a problem. Like, what are we supposed to do about that? Has anyone called the Pentashire? Like, this is an issue? And like people are.
What do you think we should do?
We-
What do you think we should do? Let the man talk.
Intimidation check.
Ooh.
With advantage because it's his own place.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We don't need it.
No, we don't.
19.
Every
Intimidate.
a lot of everyone quiets. A few people at the front look chastened. Everyone turns their attention back to Rhondo. You notice that Aislinn Rot like eyes you favorably.
Little like bonded thing on top of the screen.
Jason will remember that.
You'll remember it. Yes, the plan will be to inform the Pentashire, but that will take a while. We all know us as a community bonding together will keep us safe and strong, and that's why I brought you all here. You are all the influential figures and noteworthy people of this town that others will listen to, because that's what we have to rely on right now. There could be others out there, but we have to, for one, not panic. Fear and panic could lead to mistakes that could kill innocent people. The other thing is we need to be safe. So everyone this is why we're doing this, so we all know, and we all go home, and we protect ourselves until the next morning.
A voice from the back. So you want us to like reconvene in the morning? It was the plan.
The plan is to inform the Pentashire,
Right.
and before then, a few of us maybe go out, see if there's any more of them.
So not volatile, but maybe concerned murmur through the crowd.
We do have one or two eyewitness reports of descriptions. A tall, and I mean really tall, massive stone man to keep a lookout for. And a...
How tall? Like Jeremiah tall?
kind of like...
A little bit of laughter through like quiet, nervous chuckles.
Yeah. Maybe if Jeremiah stood up a little bit taller, but about as tall as this ceiling, which I'm assuming is like an average.
Yeah, the
10
tone
foot
the tone
tall.
immediately goes from nervous chuckles to fuck.
If also if there's any of your family members out right now, we need to make sure, let us know so that we could possibly keep an eye out for them. Hopefully they get home safely. Other than that, who did we get a description of the other figure that the stone man was holding?
From Tobi?
Yeah.
I mean, you all looked a person in a cloak.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hard to see. Like this, he was already mostly obscured by trees by the time you guys even looked. So, you basically just have Tobi saying he was carrying someone.
Yeah. Only reason why I believe we all don't just come together into a single place is because I'm worried they might strike again, and that will just be a larger target for them. With all of us separate in our own homes, gives us more of a chance to survive. In the meantime, I think it's best for us to have watches out, have guards walking around. I'll take one of the shifts, and we keep our people safe.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Good fail. Did good.
Not great. Even worse. 10.
About half of the people seem to kind of like nod, and they're like, yeah. All right. I know the rest of them seem more concerned. Everyone kind of agrees with what you're saying, but you haven't really like unified the town.
Yeah.
So, as they're all kind of like meandering, like a few of them are like, I'm gonna check on my kids, and like head out, and like a few more disperse. You do notice like with them, there's a moment when you see Glenn Crimmins like, and like something crosses his mind, and he heads out. It's a handful leave, a handful of them stay. It wasn't quite the rousing success that you hoped to like muster.
Yeah.
So, but there's once everything kind of just like starts to disperse, everyone kind of like taking the lead that you've inspired. You've still got about 15 guys who are still around. I should rephrase that. You have like 15 women, more so than men, who stuck around.
Okay.
Who are like, yeah, tell us what you need.
All right, we're going to split shifts, and we're going to make sure everyone has another person with them. We're not doing this. No one's going to be alone. And if you see something, you go and get help. Don't take care of it yourself.
How far out do you want us to go?
How far out is the factory?
The factory is kind of center of town.
Oh, okay.
because the town was kind of built around the mine and the factory.
Yeah.
Basically, the way it generally works is you've got almost like a comet. You've got the factory, the mine, and how the homes are all kind of spread this way, and they disperse as you go further that direction and closer to the river.
Okay.
But the town is like built into the Duende forest. There's not like a clear marker. It's more like how dense are the homes, and they become less dense. So they're asking because there's not really like a border of town, so you have to draw a line somewhere.
I guess I would have them to not go too far out from town, to stay within, because I'm more worried that whoever these people are like in the town somewhere. So to do watches and patrols through town, and then maybe the outskirt of town,
All right,
but not to delve deep into the forest.
All right, you got it. And they pair off in 2s and 3s, largely to stay whatever they're comfortable with and disperse out back into it.
Great.
Pretty much the only people left at the end are Dakota, Faedan, you, and Gamlin starts to head out, and you see Aislinn grabs him by the arm. It's like, Rhondo, any suggestions for what our dear mayor should be doing in this time?
He should be contacting the Pentashire.
Todrick was like, of course, absolutely. That was on my plan first thing.
And as much as I try to be calm and try not to let people panic, you should very sternly and confidently tell the Pentashire what we saw. And I kind of like push the coat into his chest and tell them the war has come to Sunburst Falls.
Persuasion check with it, or intimidation. Ooh, yeah. Either way, the jacket gives you advantage.
Okay. Come on.
Stop dropping the dice.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thank God.
Persuasion for a dirty 20.
I get your point. I'll be right. I will make it clear. Are you giving him the jacket?
Yeah. I think enough people have seen it by now. I don't need to convince anyone.
He folds it under an arm and goes, Good work. All told.
Thanks.
And he turns and does head out, and there's just a moment later you hear his carriage like rolling off.
I was like, which character? And I saw the face.
I'm very concerned, Rhondo.
Yeah.
We might have a bigger problem.
I was wondering that too, because why would there be a sabotage this deep? Is something else happening?
I don't. And his eyes go to Marula, who's just like, I'm not paying attention. I don't know. I don't know what's happening at the factory. Don't look at me. But Aislenn's like, I mean, we're making weapons for the war. I couldn't tell you more than that. If anyone were to know, it'd be Kairos. I guess I should say we were making weapons for the war.
That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. Kairos killed a person today.
I'm assuming from your tone you don't mean the black and green you found in the factory.
No.
Okay.
That's murder.
I am not arguing with you, but I don't have any insight into that situation. It's... Marilla's just like, look, if you can find my partner, then maybe we can hash this out. But last thing you told me is that they wandered off into the woods.
Mm-hmm. And if they do end up showing back home, I'd very appreciate it if you came forward and let us know.
I think it's funny that you think you won't know first. Kairos isn't exactly going to lay low. I will let you know if they show up. That's all I got for you. I don't control my partner. So I'm just here to stay in the know on what you guys are doing about this situation. So...
And we'll let you know as soon as we learn anything else new.
Great. You see him. Kairos shows up in town. Send a messenger. Fuck. And just walks out of the bar. Mm-hmm. Aislinn is still there. I'm going to have to field this with the man upstairs.
Yeah. I'm sorry for what you're gonna have to...
Me too.
Explain.
Yeah. It's a bad time to be in charge of things.
You could always quit.
Ha! I had an uncle once, Archer, Desmond, who was fed up with the family business and said he was going to quit, retire to Blitzen Fields, of all places. And, well, he left one day. Didn't tell anyone. Just booked it. It was a nice funeral. Oh, shit. So, it's a thought. Retirement. If you do see Kairos Pullman, maybe let me know first.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll an insight check. What are you trying to infer?
I want to know how deep this guy is with the company.
What?
Kairos?
What do you mean?
Or Aislinn?
Aislinn.
His name is Rot.
No.
What do you
how
mean deep?
his loyalty.
Oh, go
If
for it.
There's any way in the future where he might turncoat. Insight 22.
Aislinn is out for Aislinn Rot. And I think with a 22, you understand you'd be hard pressed to convince him that his life is in better hands outside of that company.
Okay.
So. And I'll give you this for free because I think you've got enough information in the past 24 hours to put it together, especially with that role. That loyalty does not extend to Kairos Pullman. Like, tips his hat. I'll see you in the morning, I guess. We'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And he heads out as well.
So it's just us three left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That could have gone better.
Yes.
Could have gone worse.
Yeah.
You didn't even have my back with that rowdy crowd. It was just me.
It was just him.
I'll be honest with you. I really wanted to have your back, but I was kind of too busy thinking about whether or not it was worth it to put Murilla Pullman in the ground.
Okay.
A little distracted.
Yeah.
And you see, Dakota actually has not been fully attentive since you guys left the factory. Since you guys found the body.
Okay.
So.
Do we start looking now, or do we wait for morning?
I think we start now, at the very least.
Looking for Kairos Pullman.
Kairos, these
others,
these
the
other
other
guys.
people.
Are we going into the forest? Or are we maintaining a perimeter like you have everyone else doing?
I have some questions for Kairos.
Into the woods we go. Got that pipe still?
No. Could find something.
He pulls out a dagger. Take that. He hands you a wand.
He's a wizard!
That doesn't work easily. I'm gonna show you how to use it. All right?
All right.
Yes.
I didn't breathe. I did not give Jason a class. I gave him a weapon.
It's
Still a one.
It's still cool.
And you all head off into the woods. The Duende Forest, to those who don't live in Godfell, is the stuff of nightmares. It is the place that other nations set their ghost stories in. Here the foliage and trees are so dense that the light of the moon Pondel doesn't reach the floor. The things that live in these woods hunt townsfolk the way owls hunt mice. And Archer, Faedan, and Dakota are marching straight into the wood to find what's left of Kairos Pullman. We'll see what else they find next time on The Worst of Times.